Oh my goodness. Okay. Right. We are back. Wet our wheel heads here. Always want to wet your workspace because you don't want to be working on a pot and have a bit of dry clay get in there somewhere, because that will ruin your day. So any tools you're working on that have been dry, left over from another day, just give them a wet. This stops any dry clay from getting in your pots. You should be cleaning them at the end of every throw, but I don't sometimes. Apologies for the cold. It seems like I can't escape illness this year so far. Started with a stomach bug, and then de-evolved into a common cold. This throwing stick I'm not going to be using today because I actually found my my one and only. This is my beloved. I use this a lot, and I couldn't find it for the life of me for about a couple of months. Just found it yesterday looking for a big scrap bucket of clay. So these thinner ones, they do the job, but I find that they bend a bit with the force applied, so it's not as reliable. So I'm going to put them to one side today. I don't need to clean them as much because I don't want to use them. You can do it at the end of every throw, you could do it before you throw. It's completely up to you when you clean your tools. I like to do them when I like to do them. Sometimes it's before, sometimes it's after. Depending on when you last thrown, your sponge on a stick is probably very dry, so give it a dunk. And then these chamois levers, they're coated in clay and slipped from yesterday, so give them a rinse. It's almost like rinsing a sponge, so they won't stick as much now on the pot because it's got fresh water on there. It's a backup one. Right, so we've got 2 balls of clay. We'll see how we go. Again, apologies for the sniffles. These are about 700 grams. Yeah, don't know what I'm going to throw. Probably a vase because I love to throw vases. We've got a measuring stick here. So when we throw one of them, the goal is to try and make the other one the same. So we can try and do that. Here's one I threw yesterday. It's still drying. This was about I think about 500 grams of clay, I think. So maybe we can get something a bit taller. Right, so yeah, without further ado, let's get this ball of clay moving a lot faster. there to cone up the clay. Just did it twice. You don't really have to do it twice. If you've wedged well, then you're not really going to have any problems, but a lot of people think it feeds well into centering, so it's out of habit that they do. I like to do it once, but so just going to make sure that this is fully centered. And now I'm going to plunge a hole into the top of the pot. Only a shallow hole. And then go down a bit deeper. Once I've gone deeper, I can remove this middle part, which I've used like a top, just to guide me. Just compressing the base of the pot. Like we've got an air bubble. Oh, that's broken. Okay. Good start. This has turned into a small bowl because I've lost some of my pot, so sometimes this happens. Not much you can do. Then a good example of you know, kind of going with the flow of the clay, and if it's broken then trying to throw something else. You know, I'm not in a production line or anything. I'm not urgent to make these things, you know, I'm just doing it for fun. So Right, so just a bowl, not really great. Don't know what you could use that for, but I tried to throw a vase, but I've ended up with a bowl, so that's the way it works, isn't it? So we pop that one up here. Okay, let's see if we can actually make a vase from this one. Okay. Vase. Doesn't take long to throw. Just if it goes wrong, maybe I'll do that lip over. Yeah, I think that would look nice. Yeah. So let's do that. Let's remove the excess water first, because that would be useful. Then we'll just finish shaping it. Yeah, that's fine. You can when you're sometimes cutting in a bevel, the edge, you can kind of sometimes dig into the pot, which you don't want to do. And that can cause problems. But this one's okay. I'm not. It's quite a thin pot, so I'm not going to go crazy here. But I'm just going to take off the excess slip on the outside. It's quite thin, so I'm not going to go crazy because I will just rip away the pot, you know. Okay. Yeah. The top is sunk a bit, which sucks. But the most I can do is it's not really push down here. Trying to lift up a bit. Yeah, not much I can do. I'm done now. The pot's finished. Quite happy with it. So it's about 7 3/4, 4 inch diameter. So this is the same weight of clay as we did the bowl, but there's less waste. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thanks for watching.